Hi, folks. This is Mountain Man coming to you from parts unknown. I hope everyone's doing well. I didn't mean to scare you with that photograph there, but I don't know. We'll talk about it. Is that the martyr herself? The martyr of the left? They say it was a strange journey for this person. Ending up where she ended up with her ideas and notions and whatnot. But the end of the road was not a particularly good thing. So anyway, we're going to talk about what's going on in Iran. Things are going cuckoo. I said Iran wild. Yeah, Iran is wild right now, and a lot of places are wild. We got a siege going on in the hotel, harassing ICE officers. Is it a Hampton? I believe it is a Hampton. But anyway, we'll get into all that stuff. And what do I do while people are filing into the chats? I play some videos, give people time to get themselves a cup of coffee or maybe a bourbon and Coke or a cold bruja, whatever you would like. But anyway, I'll go ahead and play this video, and then we'll be like butter and get on a roll.
You want to know what it is. The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave, Neo. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. A prison for your mind. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more. Follow me.
Storm's on.
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
They have unsuccessfully tried to take down the wrong person.
He's absolutely going to come back with full vengeance the next time around.
Now think about what 4 years of a retribution presidency might look like. Our Constitution really does give the president tremendous power to destroy. This will be something we could never have imagined.
Now the gloves are off.
Some of Trump's close political allies told him they are working on figuring out the identities of the FBI and DOJ staff and forming lists.
I will direct a completely overhauled DOJ to investigate every radical DA and AG in America for their illegal, racist enforcement of the law. The deep state is destroying our nation, but the tables must turn and we will quickly destroy the deep state. We know where the bodies are buried. There are a lot of people out there that have done some very, very evil things, very bad things, I would say treasonous things against our country. People that have done such harm to our country. I've been looking at them for a long time. He could order the investigation and prosecution of individuals who he perceives as enemies. Put them all in jail where they belong. You gotta get tough and smart, and you have to fight fire with fire. You can't allow this to go on. And I will be the one to clean it up. I am your retribution. We will take care of it. We will take care of it.
Hi, folks. How you all doing tonight? Nice to see you. There's a man pointing his finger at you. Hi, Colette. Hi, Robin. Nice to see you. Randy, Cole, beautiful cat. What do you want to be called, beautiful or cat? I'm going to just call you beautiful. That rolls off the tongue. That's where I'll leave it at. Elva, nice to see you. Sissy, Wayne is here giving me a thumbs up. Yes, please remember to give me a thumbs up even after the live stream. It helps the video get around. If you hadn't given me a thumbs up, just go on out there, podge the like button, and then come on back in. We'll be here. Yeah. Come on in, shake off your skin, and rattle around in your bones. Hi, Melinda. Miss Mindersoo is here. We know we're safe now. Miss Mindersoo's here. MS Motorsports. Kim is here. Yvonne. Well, thank you, beautiful. I'm glad to hear that. Hi, Todd. How are you doing? So anyway, I need to verify this thing on the screen here. Somebody put that up and said it was that the martyr of the bunch that's out there screaming and yelling. They got to have something to scream and yell about. And I put on my thumbnail a picture of Tim Walsh. Those who scream the loudest. Where have we heard that before? Because we have been hearing things from the 17th Post coming directly out of the White House and directly from President John Trump. So anyway, I don't know if that's a person or not, but I tell you what, I've heard some stories. I was watching Matt Morse and JRL Investigates and different people, and stories going around. She had 3 kids. She's got 1. 2 of them, they say, got taken away from her because I'm not going to call them. If I mention her name, fine. I can't remember it, but everybody knows who I'm talking about. I'm not bothered about mentioning her name. And I'll just say the other lesbian when I'm talking about the partner, okay? Because I don't like saying wife, all right? So anyway, the other lesbian that came in the picture allegedly was putting cigarettes out on a couple of the kids, which is a horrible notion. But then there's a talk also that the one husband died. He was in the military. I don't know how he passed away. And the parents of the former husband took the 2 children. I can't speak to the validity of it, but would not surprise me. And, if I've talked about in the past, if a mother loses custody, that tells you something really wrong. Because judges always defer, as I've said in the past, to the mother. So, but you see what's on, whoever this individual is, you see what's on the shirt, right? Protect trans youth. Protect trans youth. In my personal opinion, okay, IMO, people like this shouldn't be allowed authority over children, okay? It's psychological abuse unless they're born with a genetic anomaly, an organic genetic situation where there is questions. I've said before, such as hermaphrodism, yeah, to take a healthy child and psychologically and, God forbid, physically abuse them should be long prison sentences for people involved. And we got to clean out the school system. It's getting too damn Looney Tune. Hi, Darla. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Who else slipped in here? Damon's here. Randy's here. Ha, ha, ha. All right. So, yeah, I think we need to work on that. We need to work on a lot of damn things. Let me pluck through some of the stuff. I mean, I've got a lot of stuff in the studio, and sometimes I don't even get through half of it. I had some Scott Jennings clips last night. I didn't get to play. 2 hours goes by so fast. But anyway, here she is. What do you think? There's a picture. I tell you, when a devil gets inside you, it'll change your face. Okay. I keep watching. Well, let me read this. Carmine Sabia. I guess he's the one on one of these channels, Next Network or something. One thing we know for certain: if this person had been killed by an illegal alien, it would not have made even the news. Would not have even made the news. And that's true. That's true. There she is. There she is. I would say pre-total insanity. And could this be the same person? When you get demon possessed, well, I told you I had that clip of that girl that said, after I got over it with Trump and admitted I was wrong about Trump and started enjoying my life and looking with hope to what's going on in the world and our country, I feel better. I look better, and so there's a lot to be said for that. A lot to be said for that. It can't be psychologically healthy to continue to be in that state. But yes, it is true. You never heard squat out of the left for Jocelyn Nungari. You didn't hear squat out of the left for anybody. As a matter of fact, they mocked Charlie Kirk. Okay. And do you think they took this person's social media down? And the other lesbian, they took the social media down? Or would you see, what do you think they dressed like like on Halloween? Just curious. The left didn't say nothing about Laken Riley, nothing about the attempts on Trump's life. As a matter of fact, they'd egg it on and laugh about it. But I'll tell you about laughing about things. Trump keeps a good attitude, and so should we. So we don't end up like a bunch of wild-eyed liberals that have lost their damn minds. This is Trump. He's got a new pin. He was meeting with oil executives today because he popped another couple of tankers out on the high seas. And the one that I showed you the footage of yesterday, they're unloading it. They're probably finished by now as we speak. And the crew's been charged. Okay, 2 of them were Russian, got sent back to Russia, released to Russia. But anyway, I'll talk about that. I got some posts to go over there. But he's meeting with all executives. What are we going to do here? Things are going to work out to the benefit of the nation as a whole. Okay. Do you all have any ties with Iran, Cuba, China, Russia, or any other state other than the United States? And Trump is going to crack them on the head with the big stick verbally on their head, a little couple clunks on the head. And anyway, he's got his pin. They call it a happy hour pin, but I guess somebody made it for him. Is this a South Park rendition of Trump or a South Park style rendition? That's what he had on his lapel. And hey, you gotta have a lot of fun out of life, So Trump is in his element. He's moving things forward, and he's very pleased with how things are going. Here's somebody who's not very pleased with how things are going. Tim Walz. And I put him on the thumbnail. I was going to put the other lesbian on the thumbnail for some of the comments she made to the ICE agents moments before we heard pow, pow. And her life was ended. But I elected to go with Walsh. Imagine holding a press conference to try and convince people you aren't we and then taunted, right? And there he is. Good luck with that, Tim Walsh. I don't think people are going to believe you. And I believe there are indictments imminent. But, we're playing cards with them. How many of you in the past have heard me talk over, I have to keep saying over the years, when you're dealing with investigations, sometimes you play cards with them. So they're playing cards right now, and a lot of things get exposed. And most importantly, get exposed to the general public, because I know that the White Hats know a lot of the things that are going on and a lot of these organizations that are paying these people. Laura Ingraham went out there to the Looney Tunes festival they were having. Hi, Richard. How you doing? And talked to a girl. She couldn't have been 30 years old. And Laura said, do you have a job? And she said, this is my job, so they're getting paid. And then she said, well, sometimes I'm on disability and sometimes I do this work. So it's like, oh, okay. Yeah, we kind of knew that already. But here I got another video of Laura Logan to go with the ones I played last night. What does it say? Venezuela and Cuba helped steal 2020. That's something I couldn't even allude to. If people watch my past videos, and I've noticed people have been watching like a dozen or more, 15 videos getting watched over and over and over a 20-day period. Anytime I look at my analytics, there are people going all through my past videos. New subscribers, and I want to welcome new subscribers to the channel. I appreciate it very much. And if you're not subscribed, you better go ahead and do it. But anyway, you'll notice that I talk in code and I scramble words up because my videos would get taken down in a flash. And I'm sure they're going through at UTizzle getting all the blue-haired, skinny-jeaned, metal in the face weirdos that were making decisions on the appropriateness of videos and getting rid of them and having normal people. So it's becoming the norm now to talk about what happened in 2020. But anyway, here's Laura's video.
So basically what you had is a system where, people will look at this and think, well, how can Venezuela be involved? But they don't understand that Venezuela is not acting alone. First of all, Cuban intelligence is with them every step of the way. And Cuban intelligence is actually one of the most sophisticated intelligence networks and operations in the world.
They do great human. They're very dangerous. They're a worthy opponent. They have done a job on us.
Yep. And that's why, before Biden came in, when I was covering the border, when you had Cubans were apprehended crossing the border illegally, that was a big deal. That used to bring Customs and Border Patrol to a halt, right? Everything used to freeze. And, journalists were given a lot of access, but if the Cubans were involved, it was like, no, you can't go near, because it was recognized, because the United States government knew very, very well exactly how dangerous and effective Cuban intelligence are. And of course, under Biden, that changed completely. And it was just Cubans and Italians.
It changed under Obama in 2008, because Obama moved us and established a relationship and even a liaison relationship between the CIA and the Cuban Intelligence Service, which is insane. And a number of CIA officers became very cozy with the Cubans, and a number of them were recruited by the Cubans.
Recruited by the Cubans, which means they were given out intelligence. And after the stories I've told about Aldrich Ames, who recently passed away in the last 48 hours or 72 hours, we know how devastating that can be. So anyway, hi, Rain, how you doing? Jerry's here. Doc's here. Colette saying hi to everybody. Yeah. We got Rain Sparky's here. Nice to see you. All right. Yeah, she's got a demon in her. But anyway, so that's, one of the pilots that was involved in the operation was injured pretty badly. Let me see if this is a story. This might be an Iran story. I don't know. It's very small, but we shall see. Wait a minute. Oh, I want to show. Oh, it might be. Let me see. It's hard to see these things, but I heard that he was shot. His legs got shot up pretty bad, and which is unfortunate. But other than that, I don't think we had any other injuries. And I think he's still hospitalized. So, my goodness. Well, when I come across it, I'll come across it and read it to you. But anyway, they're talking about how vicious these Cubans are. Well, they weren't. The 32 that were in there with Maduro weren't very vicious. I'm sure if they were dealing with just regular folk, they would be very vicious. But here's a guy that gives you a little insight into what happened that night. Apparently, he's got some contacts in the Venezuelan military. Actually talked to some people who were on the scene when the raid or the exfiltration occurred.
A security guard that was protecting Maduro has spoken, and you got to hear what he said. It's in Spanish, but I'll translate. Also, Trump announced that, the cartels, they're going after him in Mexico. The whole vibe of Latin America has changed because of what happened in Venezuela. And now that we're getting firsthand accounts from people that were there, the soldier says they didn't hear him coming. He says the Americans had technology superior to anything they've ever seen. Everything that they were using for radar, for anything, was completely taken offline. They had drones, and the drones were taking out bases and taking out things faster. They didn't have no technology. They've never had to fight against drones. He also talks about that there was only 8 helicopters. There was only 20 men that were sent in, and those 20 men killed hundreds of their men, and none of those soldiers were injured. He talks about it felt like they were firing 300 rounds a minute. Nothing they've ever seen, nothing that they can compete with. And then he also talks to the fact that the Americans had some kind of sonic shock boom that was sent out, and everybody immediately started bleeding profusely out of their nose. They couldn't even gather themselves because whatever was sent at them made them fall to their knees and vomit blood out of their mouth and out of their noses. They were incapacitated immediately. He says he never wants to go through that again. Doesn't want to have to fight with the Americans again. He's sending warnings to everybody out there that you think you can fight the Americans. You don't even know what their weaponry is like and what they're capable of. 20 men took out hundreds, and that's starting to spread all through Latin America. And now they're not saying, if you want me, come and get me anymore. They're like, oh shit. Especially after Trump says, hey, Mexico, you're on the list too.
Yeah, now you know why that Colombian president wants to meet with Donald Trump and have a nice, friendly conversation, because he's heard about what can happen. 20 men taking out hundreds of people. And if you think to yourself, if I was doing an operation like that and could ask a genie, what would I like? You would say to yourself, oh, I would like a uniform that was bulletproof. I would like a uniform that had its own sealed system where I could breathe clean air if they threw some kind of chemicals or poisons at me. You can think of a lot of things. I'm not saying they have all that, but they have thermally controlled uniforms. They have body armor, full body armor. That's very impressive. And also offensive weapons. He's talking about concussion grenades, okay, and even some ordnance that creates a flash of a vacuum, which pretty much sucks your brains out of your head if you don't watch out. And so they got all kinds of things to stun and incapacitate, and also why they have defensive clothing on. So you can imagine the advances and what they have. So all of a sudden you have Colombia saying, and like Trump said, this could happen to anyone, anywhere in the world. So, hi, Finding Dory. Nice to see you. Long time no see. I'm glad you found me. I certainly am. Who else snuck in here? Anybody? Oh, it looks like everybody's accounted for. Mr. Kibler's here. Okay. So anyway, let's keep on keeping on. I'm going to jump around from subject to subject. Here is a nice video of Greg Bonvino talking some lunatic so-called lawmaker in Minneapolis. When we straighten out this illegal immigration business, many of you regulars in my chat know how badly these tens of millions of people that don't belong in this country, how badly it has skewed our representation in Congress and at the state and local level. When all this stuff is said and done, lunatics like this woman stand here won't be in those gilded halls anymore. And they know it. That's why they're getting desperate. But here's Greg Bonvino having a little discussion with a lunatic. And of course, they can't handle it.
Kids have a right to have this experience.
Yeah, for you cursing like that as state representative, did your peers teach you that? Or where did you learn such foul language? Such a simple question. I'm asking you guys. Simple question there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where did you learn
Learn how to.
human beings?
It's very interesting when we make your community safer. Your residents thank us, but you don't know that as a representative, do you?
Could you explain to me
I can.
why
It's called
you
tailored
are
immigration
not?
enforcement.
Why are you not arresting criminals? Why are so few of the people that you have arrested and detained and deported people with criminal records?
They're all criminals. They've all crossed the border illegally.
Crossing the border illegally is a civil offense.
No, 18 U.S.C. 1325 illegal entry. That's a federal crime. Yes.
It's still considered civil immigration enforcement.
And she's looking up stuff herself.
Who is deporting construction workers? Protecting public safety.
Deporting illegal aliens and criminals, making America a safer place. The double-digit drops in crime. Have you looked at your statistics nationwide? Or you don't care about
Over
that?
the last,
Since we've been conducting yes. Double-digit drops in crime.
Correlation is not causation.
When we're there, that does cause that. Then what causes it then?
Well, I don't know. I saw a crime
You don't know,
recently, and the
exactly.
crime was ICE shooting
Exactly.
a woman who was a bystander.
Don't drive a 2,000-pound missile at an ICE agent. You won't have an outcome that you don't agree with, Representative.
Yeah, well, I thought that law enforcement was supposed to be trained in de-escalation.
And that is, they did. They
Shooting
did.
someone in the face because it's not de-escalation. What's your job?
I work with
Are you
OAN.
like the comms people?
No, I work with OAN.
Oh.
We love watching representatives use their First Amendment. I think it's fantastic.
Well, I'm a former member of the ACLU of Minnesota board, and I believe in the First Amendment.
Good.
What about the Second Amendment? You believe in that one?
Don't have a strong.
You don't have just the ones that suit you there, Representative, right? What about that Second Amendment?
Well, I don't know if you heard, but we had a shooting in a school here in Minnesota recently. And
What's that got to do with the Second Amendment?
Well, I think that if we had some common sense gun violence prevention
Who gets
laws.
to say it's common sense? You?
Well, yes, I'm the legislator.
Exactly, and I think that's definitely the problem there.
Is it? Well,
Yes.
I think the problem is that
When you
children
use
are
that,
dying.
when you use that violent rhetoric around children, yeah, I'd say that you probably are not exercising a lot of common sense there, Representative.
I'm here as volunteer for the Minnesota Youth in Government. And the point of Minnesota Youth in Government is to encourage children to participate in our civic institutions, to learn about them, to learn how to exercise their constitutional rights.
I do the same thing. I haven't interfered in anything, but I do the same thing. I take children to shooting ranges, and I teach them to shoot, to exercise their Second Amendment rights that it seems like you want to take away.
I don't have strong opinions about the Second Amendment. I just care about
Just the ones you
children's
want,
well-being.
right? And just those rights you think you need to care about.
Well, I
but
just
not the
want
second. That's always the
people
litmus test for you folks. Always the litmus test.
I just want people to be able to live in peace.
Me too. That Second Amendment does that.
Really? Well, all I've seen here in Minnesota is people dying, including children.
What about the lives that are saved by guns? You don't talk about that, do you?
Does anybody die from fentanyl? I'm just wondering because the end all is get rid of guns, people don't die. Is fentanyl still killing people in Minnesota? Just wondering. Because it's illegal. Because it's illegal. The government, we don't hand out fentanyl. Is fentanyl killing people in Minnesota? See, this is where you need to count to 10.
Too easy. And you lose. You loser. Walk away. Walk away, loser. But anyway, yeah, I wonder who she was texting. Was she texting people to say, I got the ice person here. Get everybody to show up with your beating your pots and pans and raising hell. Hi, Pappy Two Bears. How you doing? Kim, nice to see you. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. So you see the focus there. They start talking about gun control. And she said, I want common sense gun control. And he said, well, whose common sense we're going to use? Yours? And she said, yeah. And he said, well, I think that's a problem. I thought that was funny. But let me show you a blast from the past is giving interviews right now. How many of you remember this slob right here? Michael Fanone. Huh? Who's Michael Fanone? Michael Fanone was testifying before Congress about his terrible injuries that he got. And then we have video afterwards at the Capitol where he was laughing with his buddies, pocketing clips, okay, for himself that were part of the armory in the Capitol and joking about it. And also somebody who looks very much like him in plain clothes wandering around with a Confederate flag, a battle flag. So anyway, what's he talking about? He's talking about the Second Amendment, but he's doing it in a way to agitate people to abuse the Second Amendment. So that's one of their many pushes, of course, is to create false and then what? Flags to push for more gun control. But he's acting like he's trying to defend democracy.
And this ain't the first time that we've seen ICE and CBP abuse their power. It's probably the millionth fucking time that we've seen this happen. And it's not even the first time that someone has been seriously injured or lost their lives. And so these politicians and these local, state, and municipal law enforcement agencies need to wake the fuck up. I appreciate the foul language coming out of the mouth of, the mayor of Minneapolis. And I think that his sentiment in the moment was appropriate. That being said,
what are you doing? What are you directing
I meant to freeze it there so you would see his prison tattoos on the back of his hand. And I meant to warn y'all that there is this filthy language that the filthy left normally uses. And of course, he would appreciate that kind of language coming out of the mayor's mouth that we heard the other day, because that's all this clown knows. But I don't know if he'll raise his hand up again, but you'll see, they take broken ink pens and they, when they're sitting there in the penitentiary and dream up ways to give themselves those tattoos, that's what he looks like. So when this is all over with, I'd like to find out his story.
Your law enforcement agencies to do to protect your citizens? How are you going about doing that? I don't need to hear from the chief of police that we all need to remain calm and protest peacefully. Fuck you and fuck that. What are you doing to keep me safe? What are you doing to keep my mother safe, my sister safe, my community safe from these thugs? That's what I need to hear coming out of these agents or these officers. Because if you're not going to do it, then it's time for the American people to organize and to utilize their Second Amendment right to protect themselves from what has clearly become an unaccountable and lawless agency that's killing Americans.
Your mother probably throws rocks at your ASS. Okay? So anyway, you see him stirring up the pot. He knows he's in line, let's put it that way, for some I believe serious charges. Let me what's everybody waiting for? I'm sure you've seen it a dozen times, but we'll watch it again. Right here. The video where you see the other lesbian. There she is, wearing the plaid jacket, and she gets smart alecky with the she's speaking with the agent that got hit. And of course, you go in the comments, well, he could have got out of the way quicker. He didn't get hit that hard. Yeah, okay. But anyway, we'll go ahead and play the video. For any rational person, this puts any question to bed. What happened?
Get out of the car. Whoa!
Change our plates every morning, just so you know. It'll be the same plate when you come talk to us later. That's fine. U.S. citizen, former fucking veteran. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? I say go get yourself some lunch, big boy. Go ahead.
Out of the car. Get out of the fucking car. Get out of the car. Whoa!
Go get you some lunch, big boy. You want to come at us? You want to come at us? Yeah, he came at you all right. She broke traction, spinning wheels. That's reckless driving. There was no time for him to make all these evaluations that they're jumping up and down, demanding that he should have made. He did exactly the right thing. I would have popped her myself if it was me. They're saying, you look at the back of the vehicle. I was going to show some of the videos that the media was putting out. Had the entire back of this vehicle covered in a blurred dot. Did you all notice that? And I thought to myself, why? They said they were trying to cover up the license plate. And good luck with that. So I said, well, what were they trying to cover up? They covered up the whole back. Well, I couldn't see anything offhand that would be offensive, but apparently it's stickers to show that these two have been traveling all over. Wouldn't you like to be in your 30s with no responsibilities, doing all this traveling. Where do you get your wealth? Somebody said that the other lesbian is the rumor, I guess, is that she was former military and was claiming PTSD, a lifetime of disability, where she is so hampered by her emotional distress that she can't hold down a job in the national economy. And she needs monthly paychecks for the rest of her life. And then you see her wandering around in 29-degree weather and being a smart aleck with a cop and traveling all over the country and going to other countries. They went to Canada and they came back. Why? Well, maybe Uncle Sam wasn't going to send those checks to Canada. Okay? Maybe Canada said, no, you're not getting in our system. All we can offer you is euthanasia. We have a capsule you can get in and play soft music and your problems will be solved. We'll pay for that. I don't know. But they came back from Canada is what I heard. So anyway, they obviously have some mental distress, and she's a millionaire now. She's a brand new millionaire. Is this the one that's talking about the, let me see. Libs. Now, this was yesterday, really. It's at 1.5 million now. Libs have raised nearly 1 million for the woman who is SHOT, trying to run over ICE. Yeah, now that I see this picture, it does look like I am on the money with this collage of histrionic, vicious, demonic faces that this person is making. What do you all think? I think they ought to impound that 1.5 million, or however much it's going to get to, because you shouldn't be able to profit off of crime. I thought that wasn't allowed. And if you were conspiring to go around and interfere with federal operations and to assist in harboring illegal aliens, which is a felony, I don't see how you should profit off that. And things could get a lot worse too. I'm just saying off the top of my head things I can think of. But this is what our country rewards. And here's where somebody put up Tim Pool. Did I get that? Oh, I got the video clip of it. He did a slow-mo of it, analysis, and where this other lesbian says it was my fault. It's my fault. I made her come down here. Well, she also said, drive, baby, drive. Is that what she said? Drive, baby, drive. Is that what? Are people going to make T-shirts that say drive, baby, drive, and an outline of a woman with a hole in her noggin? That sounds like something the lefties would do. No, we're not going to do that, are we? But anyway, here's Tim Pool. His analysis.
While I initially said that I believed she wasn't intending to hit the officer and was trying to flee, but still put the officer in fear of harm, no, I've changed my mind. I'm going to show you the slowed down footage that I believe proves this woman was intending to kill that ICE agent. Watch the officer who has his gun drawn. Look at his feet right here in the back left. Let me make it a little bit easier for you guys to see. As I pull this forward, notice his feet both slide backwards. You see his foot sliding? Yeah, he's not taking a step. He's being hit by the vehicle. Now I can already hear you saying, hold on, Tim. If you're up against a vehicle and it accelerates and it pushes you out of the way, that doesn't warrant shooting somebody. Agreed. Let's go back to the lie. Here's the officer. Here's the vehicle reversing. The officer is not in front of the vehicle. She reverses, and now he is in front of the vehicle. He initially is to the right of the vehicle. Should not have placed him in himself in this position.
Yeah, that's a good point because I was watching comments on other videos. The liberals were saying he violated police policy by standing in front of the vehicle. Well, here he just showed you that he was beside it. And when she backed up, she turned and placed the officer directly in line with the vehicle. So anyway, if an officer's making an arrest, he can transit the front of the vehicle to effect an arrest. So it really didn't matter anyway. But he's showing that he was clear of the front of the vehicle except for her driving backwards and putting him right in harm's way.
Position. We're talking about seconds. Now watch this. The vehicle stops here. The wheels are pointed left. As you can see, the officer is standing right in front of the vehicle. Now watch this. Right there. You see the front tire? Watch the front tire right here. The wheels are pointed left, and she accelerates. The wheel spins out on ice. Then, with the wheels pointed at the officer, having spun out already, meaning the officer can hear the engine rev with it pointed at him, he draws his weapon. And in a second, because this is slow mode, she then begins to turn right, hitting him, and he shoots. I want to stress this again. Her tire, her front tire on her SUV is spinning out on the ice. You can see it right there. It spins.
Isn't this the best analysis? We're at the 40, I guess I started at the 44-minute mark. If you have friends that give these arguments about the officer being at fault, there's no better video that discredits that. If you want to clip it and share it.
It's on the ground. It slips. The officer who was not standing in front of the vehicle before she backed up and pointed at him and then accelerates with her tires spinning out. And then moving forward, he draws his weapon and then the wheel turns to the right. Now, of course, people have said, oh, like she only tried to turn right after the gun was drawn. Maybe. But I'll put it like this. I don't know what her intentions were, and it's immaterial what her intentions were. But look at this. The tire spinning out and slipping on the ice before stopping. There are 2 points that I think are important. Were it not for the ice, which you can see on the ground, the vehicle would have just lurched forward, run this guy over. Seriously.
Oh, yeah. That's the end of the video. But, yeah. She floored it. Those wheels were spinning. They broke traction. And if it hadn't been for the ice, she'd have popped right into him. She didn't give a damn about him. Okay. Hi, 40s. How you doing? 40s kind of guy. Nice to see you. I call you 40s. Ha, ha, ha. Who else came in? But anyway, I haven't seen any more detailed. Hi, Greg. How you doing? Analysis showing step by step, really second by second. So anyway, here's a lady that, this is how insane they are. You see, there's a little bit of this kind of crazy you see around the picture in just about all these people. But she's saying, I don't know what my tears are worth. Because I'm white and I have white privilege. I don't think my tears help because of the color of my skin. I mean, these people are self-loathing.
So, I mean, I'm just walking around kind of just dazed-eyed because I was like, I don't know if it's the right thing to do. It feels kind of wrong being here in some way. I don't know why.
Why do you think, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, like, where that stems from. Like, I mean, part of it is being, like, a white woman that I'm privileged and I have a lot of privilege. So I feel like white tears are not always something that's helpful or necessary when Black and brown people have been experiencing this for a long time. This isn't new for them, and so I don't know if that makes any sense in that way.
How did you decide that you should be here, or are you still figuring that out?
Well, I work like 2 miles from here, so driving by, I don't, it was like, I'm here. I'm 2 miles. I can stop.
Yeah, I wonder what the girl's thinking standing there. Which news service is she with? I think she's with Citizen Free Press. But yeah, she's dealing with a real nutcase right there. And here, this is the kind of stuff that gets you the Insurrection Act, right here. I don't know what Philadelphia is doing sticking their nose in it. But this is the DA. Larry Krasner threatens to arrest ICE agents. Okay, well, you better watch your... Oh, yeah, watch your ass, okay? That's what Donald Trump said. Now, they're very careful how they couch their words. Look at that happy guy on the right in the back there. Look how happy he is. And I don't know who the other guy is on the left. Looks like somebody out of some cheap, low-budget movie. But anyway, they're real careful with their words, but they try to sound as forceful as possible.
If any law enforcement agent, any ICE agent, is going to come to Philly to commit crimes, then you can get the F out of here. Because if you do that here, I will charge you with those crimes. You will be arrested. You will stand trial. You will be convicted, whether it's in state or federal court. It's my office prosecuting it. That's how the law works. And you will do your time because Donald Trump cannot pardon you for a state court conviction. Do you hear me, ICE agents? Do you hear me, National Guard? Do you hear me, military? You're going to jail if you commit crimes in the city of Philadelphia. You will be accountable. The law applies to all of you. And I know that there are honest, decent, moral law enforcement officers out there by the bushel, including in ICE. This is not for you. This is for any one of your colleagues who thinks they are above the law.
You could end up like a Cuban mercenary, the way you're talking. But every law enforcement officer knows you don't come in and commit crimes. What you need to worry about, what the rest of these crazy local authorities need to worry about, is a deprivation of rights under the color of law. Okay? Because then it's a federal matter. All right? Remember that term. I know a lot of you in the chats have heard it before. Deprivation of rights under the color of law. Once again, we had Donald Trump post this. Free Tina Peters. And if it's determined that it was a deprivation of her rights under the color of law, that they, through malfeasance, misfeasance, arbitrary, capricious, whatever kind of terms they want to use, that she was wrongfully jailed, it will become a federal matter. And I look for it. Look for it to happen. Their rhetoric, look what their rhetoric causes. This person says she's an average lady. Does that look like something an average lady would say? I wonder how many views she's got on there by now. 24 hours later, more than 24 hours later. You can read what it says on there. Again, I say every ICE agent should, not DEI, okay, the other way around. And the reason they're so effective is because they don't have DEI. So anyway, we will plow forward here. I got this screenshot because I didn't get a chance to get a screenshot of her in the vehicle. I forgot I got the screenshot. This is from Liberal Highbind. If you all get a chance to take watch his videos. It's an 11-minute video, but I've seen the clip so many times. But anyway, there she is behind the wheel. I guess the seconds before she plowed into him. I can't tell if she's smiling or what, but she looked like she was in a good mood to me. And people in the comments were saying, well, she was being friendly and smiling at the officer. And I thought to myself, haven't you seen any Joker movies? Batman and the Joker? He's smiling too. How many times have we run into in our own lives people who do terrible things are jerks with a smile? Plenty of times. I'll tell you one, Barack Hussein Obama. He used to do terrible things with a smile. But anyway, here, Donald Trump put this up. Another poll from Harry Enton. I had one the other day. I didn't get to play it. But talking about Maduro. Big support for that. And that's another reason. We've got to stick together. We got to voice how we feel. And people power can really rattle some cages. But anyway.
If you look among 2024 Trump supporters, we're talking about 80% support. The vast, vast majority of Republicans are with Donald Trump on this issue. Donald Trump has had an iron grip on that Republican base for a long period of time, and it is the same iron grip that he had 6 months ago. I know every so often people are trying to say, oh, I spot these little rifts in the Republican base. Oh, they're finally starting to break. They're starting to break from Donald Trump. It ain't happening.
Ain't happening. But you know what? People power gets abused. It's got to be from the legitimate people. Legitimate people. And by that, I mean lawful citizens, not these fraudulent citizens and illegal aliens. Because there are people who have citizenship that should not have it, and it should be stripped. And I believe there will be people by the tens of thousands having their citizenship stripped. But anyway, here is Rachel Madcow talking about people power, but she's talking about it from a rules for radicals perspective. She's given away their game. And I got to find my black and white picture of her where it looks like a mugshot. But anyway, let's see what she's prattling about.
I know you highlight these peaceful protests on your show regularly. Do you think they do any good? Do you think that anything comes from them?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, I do. I mean, in political science terms, there's what's called the 3.5% rule, which is that if you look at authoritarian regimes of various kinds all over the world over the last century, once you have 3.5% of a population protesting nonviolently against a dictator or an authoritarian, that is essentially an unstoppable force that they can't oppose, and that precludes them from consolidating dictatorial power.
3.5%.
3.5%. It's not that much larger a number than what we're already seeing in the streets against Trump.
I feel like also probably 3.5% of the population is babies. If all the babies mobilize.
Sure.
Jimmy Kimmel. Isn't he funny? So she thinks she's going to take over the world, take over the United States of America with 3.5% of the lunatics out there in the world. Kimmel, is he going to get any trouble? What was the term I used the other night? Inciting public hostility. But this is comedy, folks, right here. Comedy gold.
That is the shirt I want to see. To ICE. Get the out of Minneapolis. Get the out of all of these cities.
Yeah, that's real funny. That's real funny. Well, whatever 3.5% you got, you can multiply that by 20 or 30 for people that are sick of it and wants your rear end out. So here's where I got my thumbnail right here. Here's where I got my thumbnail. Minnesota explained in a photo right now. And of course, it made me think of the 17 post, those who scream the loudest. So I put a couple of words in. I put in loudest and I put in scream. And, just for fun. And it's pretty wild. It gives you a reminder of things that we might see in the future. Let me see if I got it in my studio. Without getting myself in trouble. Here we go. Here's one. $524. Loop Capital. CEOs. Board of Directors. Pay to play. Slush fund. Listen, we're hearing about the billions of dollars that were going through the airport just from Somalis. Never mind all the other places around the country. Slush fund. Hussein, number one. $29 million to Singapore. When are we going to hear about that? We don't say his name. You know who that is? John McStain. $19 million to Singapore. Why don't we say his name? Well, you all know why. Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton. Three. Oh. What, and three more? No, they're number three. $15 million to Banco de Mexico. Nancy Pelosi. $8 million to Deutsche Bank USA, and on and on and on. Did you all see Scott Bessent today? Did you see Scott Bessent today saying we'll follow the money, whether it's in some village in Afghanistan, wherever he said he was, or in the highest offices of Minnesota? Did you hear him? What did he say? He said, we're going to follow the money. And here you see, follow the money, focused on loudest voices in Washington. Net worth, reconcile. So it's easy to look up some of this stuff. You hear a keyword just for fun, put it in. Here's another one. I put in scream. Is it scream? Let me see. Yeah, those who scream the loudest. What do we see? Imminent. And who? Ray Chandler. This one case has the ability to bring down the many rich and powerful people, those who scream the loudest. And there was more. I'll let you all look up loudest and then look up scream on your own. It's very relaxing to go through that stuff. So here's one more. Under scream the loudest. Or it was either under scream or loudest. I broke the two words up. A House resolution. Did you know they put it before Congress to condemn the 17th letter, but they very carefully put the term anon afterwards. Q, anon instead of just the letter. Rejecting conspiracy theories it promotes. Who was the representative? Malinowski, Tom Malinowski. They did this in 2020. What's Tom Malinowski got to lose? How loud was he screaming? So, just a little something for you to do over your cup of coffee. So anyway, Jack Posobiec put this up. These Bolsheviks will come for ICE agents and their families next. What is going on right now as we speak? They're surrounding the Hampton Inn, or what? Was it Hilton or Hampton Inn? As we speak, dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of them, to scream and yell all damn night long. They will come for ICE agents and their families next. And when they do, and then they will come for anyone who supports ICE too. Understand the situation we are in. Pray and prepare your homes for what is coming. Well, they don't want to come around here, I can tell you that. Here you go. This is one for your meta. Pepe Deluxe put this up. Mag hat deserved it. Sucks the shooter missed. Bring back memories, anybody? It's all a part of history and can't be denied that that's the way they behaved. Boy, do you think they scrubbed their social media? What do you think we would find? Probably curl your hair. Harrison Crank said, guys, everybody calm down. She was only trying to run over ICE agents. It's not like she was doing something crazy, like speaking freely on a Utah college campus. Reference to Charlie Kirk, who they mocked relentlessly. Greg Price. It shouldn't get lost that the only reason all this is happening because Democrats have a psychotic desire to keep as many illegal aliens in the country as possible so they can use them to keep rigging elections. No, I wouldn't call it psychotic. The ones that are managing this, they know exactly what they're doing. What's it? Oh, Tim Walsh, there he is. Tim Walsh calls in Somali military to fight against ICE. Wouldn't that be funny? Here, oh, I forgot to put this one up. There's another one of these with Trump sitting in his desk. This is Trump's desk and a picture of Maduro like Han Solo when Jabba the Hutt got him and froze him in carbonite. Remember that, folks? So anyway, there's Maduro. I didn't get the one with Trump sitting in the chair. But anyway, let's see. Let me go over some of this stuff going on. Oh, here it is. Here's the one about the operator, okay, that got injured. I guess he was with SEAL Team 6. The commander of the MH-47G that was shot in Caracas received leg injuries, according to the New York Times, in a report on new details of the operation. The helicopters first came under fire as they approached the location where Maduro was located. The first helicopter involved in the assault was hit but remained operational. The crew commander, who also planned the operation and piloted the helicopter, received 3 leg injuries. Trying to stay in the air, the crew commander, with the help of the second pilot, dropped off a group of special forces and directed the aircraft back. Let me see. Let me find out where I'm at. To the U.S. Iwo Jima off the coast of Venezuela. Search and rescue teams in the form of PJ and rapid response forces in the form of 75th Ranger Regiment located in Puerto Rico were ready to intervene if necessary. As we heard from that guy in the tape earlier, it was 20 of them who took out hundreds. The article, for the first time, specifies the exact number of CAG servicemen involved in the operation, 80 people. Now, that doesn't mean how many were physically on the ground engaging in fire, okay? You got navigators, you got your 2 pilots, you got how many helicopters you say they used? 8 helicopters, then you got people coordinated from the ships. After a firefight with Cuban guards, the door leading to Maduro's bedroom was blown up by special forces, where he was captured with his wife as they tried to hide in a steel-reinforced room. The squadron commander, whose name the Pentagon did not disclose for security reasons, what, are you going to have a bunch of people from ICE coming to his house? Against ICE coming to his house, received serious injuries, but is currently being treated in a hospital in Texas, along with another serviceman. So 2 of them got wounded. 5 other servicemen received medical assistance and were discharged. Is there another page to this story? Oh, yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, here we go. No, I guess not. I guess that's the end of it. Because we're getting into the tankers that got seized by Donald J. Trump. And he pulled a rabbit out of his hat. I'll tell you about it in a minute. Most of the sailors captured on the by the U.S. on the Russian tanker Mariner are Ukrainians. Ukrainians, reports the Russian TV channel REN TV. There are 20 Ukrainian citizens among the crew, as well as 6 Georgian citizens and 2 Russians. The Coast Guard began pursuing the tanker off the coast of Venezuela in December. So this has been going on for a while, chasing them all around, as they were unable to obtain confirmation from the authorities of Guyana that the ship was flying their flag. U.S. representatives demanded the captain proceed to a U.S. port, but he did not comply and directed the ship towards the Atlantic Ocean. On its way, the tanker requested temporary registration under the Russian flag from the port of Sochi and received it. Remember I was talking about how the Russians were putting out, we're sending a submarine to assist? Well, we know what happened there. That tanker, Mariner, got boarded. Well, since that little incident, we had more incidences. Let's see. Whoa. News report, the Coast Guard has seized. The first one's name was Mariner. This is the oil tanker Olena, according to the Wall Street Journal. There we see another operation similar to what we watched the other night. The seizure of the tanker Olena was confirmed by the U.S. Army's Southern Command. Then a little notice came up about Iran. The supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, we'll get to the tankers in a minute, stated that protesters in the country are rioting in the streets to please U.S. President Donald Trump. Is that why they're doing it? Ali Khamenei. So the supreme leader mentioned Donald Trump in a broadcast to his people. They're renaming streets Donald Trump Street in the cities they've taken over. They're chanting for Trump. Ali Khamenei urged citizens not to place their hopes on the American president. The supreme leader of Iran added that Donald Trump's hands are stained with the blood of more than 1,000 Iranians and predicted the overthrow of the American president. Oh, was he talking to Rachel Maddow about the 3.5%? He called on Trump to focus on U.S. affairs. Well, why would you worry about him, Supreme Leader? He's getting overthrown. Why would you worry about what he focuses on? So anyway, the UAE will stop paying for the education of its citizens in British universities. What? Because they are becoming radical Islamists there. A statement from the United Arab Emirates. What a slap in the face. Wait a minute. I think I had another report on that too. They are making people more radical, because I gotta watch that word because I get in trouble for it, than an Arabic country itself. There have people come back to their country And they're like, what the hell happened to you? Why are you such a lunatic? We sent you off to get an education, and this is what you do? I'm trying to find that article. Oh, I'll pop it up when it comes up. So anyway, the mayor of Kiev. Oh, boy. There's almost no power in Kiev, okay? They're urging an evacuation of the city. Kiev, that's major. Urge the population of the city to leave. I appeal to the residents of the capital who have the opportunity to temporarily leave the city, where there are alternate sources of electricity and heat. Remember the boxer Klitschko? That's who's the mayor of the capital of Ukraine. After the night strikes, there is no heating and water in most of the city. What night strikes? Remember when we were talking about Oreshnik? And a lot of us said, but man, the way they hit the ground, kind of like rods of God. I think I got a couple of, I think this is one right here. A couple of clips of the rods of God. This is, they're raising a different flag in Iran. Wait a minute. Where's the rods of God at? Let me put this up. Is this it? Let me see. Yeah, this is in Kiev. And watch them just pop out of the clouds. And tell me how fast you think they're traveling before they hit the ground. So that was one strike. Let me see. Then there's another strike here. There were more videos, but I didn't want to copy them all. Because it's just like, there you're looking at the sky in 1 minute, and then bam, something pops out. Oh, yeah, it's definitely supersonic. I don't know if there's another one before this is over or not. But yeah, it's pretty damn quick. So they have essentially no power in the capital city of Ukraine. And what are you going to do? What are you going to do but tell people go somewhere where we can get some heat? It's wintertime. Let me get that lunatic back up. The martyr, the dear martyr for the cause. There she is. Yes, terrifying. I agree. Really? Pappy? Oh, yeah. I was saying that, people get people's hopes up, but I was thinking tonight to myself that I wouldn't be surprised if he evacuated the country either tonight or very soon. I mean, he put out that statement about Donald Trump. Shows you how weak they are. But I think this is the scene where it's the second largest city. I'm not sure if this is the right one or not. In Iran. Oh, and they also burned down a big mosque. But anyway, let me see what's going on here. Yeah, they say the Iranian guard is turning on them. The regular soldiers have already turned on them. If years ago, I showed video of what happened to the Romanian dictator. I actually showed his the immediate aftermath of his X3 execution. Right, he didn't get out quick enough. And let me see if this is. This is, I think, the screwballs protesting in America. Let me see. I'm trying to, let me see. I'm not sure. Well, let's see. What's this? Did it come on screen? Ah, there it is. Come on. It doesn't want to move. It's kind of hard to tell which videos is which. This might be, let me see what this is. I'm not even sure what this is. Let me go ahead and hit the play button and we'll see what we got. Yeah, that's Iran. Hundreds of thousands. Probably a damn million out there, really, if you want to know the truth. Hi, Mountain. How you doing? Yes, Tammy said hit the like button. I keep forgetting to mention that to folks. And I want to thank Mike and Bev for starting out the second week in January of the new year with Buy Me a Coffee. I do appreciate it. And everybody else that goes to Buy Me a Coffee to help out, I do appreciate it. As you all can see, this is a commercial-free broadcast. I don't know if that'll be the case in the future, but it's a totally viewer-supported channel. And I have a link in the description at the 121 mark in the chats. If anybody wants to help out, even after the live stream, I just had like 30 people drop off. Isn't that something? Yeah, that's how the world works, right? People make videos and put forth their effort. And if they say, hey, you want to help the channel out? They just run away. I guess, I don't know what the hell's going on with them. But anyway, so if you all want to help out, it's greatly appreciated. I give my shout outs to people that help out. And, we want to make sure we don't end up like this. Look right here. Who's this? Who's this? Keir Starmer. He's talking about Elon, X, right? They're doing what they can to fine X. If they could arrest Elon, they would. And what did Donald Trump say? They're not the same. Europe is not what it used to be. In other words, he's saying we might have to look at these treaties because we made these treaties with a different entity, okay? You all have let yourself go. You heard that little talk where the wife looks at the husband and said, honey, you've let yourself go. In other words, you better start doing some push-ups and leave the donuts alone or things aren't going to work out. And it worked the other way too, honey. The husband says to the wife, you let yourself go. And that's what's happened, Keir Starmer. You let yourself go. So has France and many other countries. So why do we want to keep a treaty when you're not even the same entity we signed the treaty with? But here he's talking about X and censorship.
Disgraceful. It's disgusting. And it's not to be tolerated. X has got to get a grip of this. And Ofcom have full support to take action in relation to this. This is wrong. It's unlawful. We're not going to tolerate it. I've asked for all options to be on the table. It's disgusting. And X need to get their act together, and we will take action on this because it's simply not tolerable.
What's not tolerable is you telling an American citizen how to run his business. It's lawful speech here in the United States, and we're not going to keep ourselves quiet to make your dumb ASS happy, okay? And if you do anything against us or our citizens, that's why it's so important for Donald Trump to win on this tariff issue, because we can immediately punish them. And we'll see. But anyway, speaking of punishing people, I could have played a couple of these clips of this fella the other night, but he kind of comes across a little too strong for me. But this one I had to play because I can't stand Keith Olbermann. He has been obnoxious ever since I ever first heard from him years ago. And apparently he got on the wrong side of Stephen A. Smith. So let me go ahead and play it.
And I want to say this about Keith Olbermann. I'm sick of your pathetic ass. I really, really am. You're a 66-year-old barely with any friends. Who the hell knows what's going on in your life? And all you do is sit back, and the second you disagree with somebody, you pop shit. You, of all people, you, Keith Olbermann, literally trying to get me fired? It's time for ESPN to follow Stephen A. He's hurting the brand. He's bad. He's damaging the brand. What? Cartoon character? Who looks more like a cartoon character than you? Keith Olbermann, you can't run 5 feet with your fat self. And I'm not talking about fat people. I'm talking about Keith Olbermann. You can't run 5 feet. You've been walking around with a cane, exercising melodrama every chance you get. All you do is make enemies. You napalm bridges all the time, including ESPN. And you got the nerve to talk about me? You think I'm going to say, how many times? I want y'all to know, ladies and gentlemen, I've been in this business since 1994. I have never uttered a negative syllable about Keith Olbermann. Ever. Keith Olbermann is one of the greatest talents we have ever had in the history of sports television, if not television overall. An unbelievably, exceptionally gifted writer and commentator who is nothing short of exceptional at what he does. So why does he have to resort to being seen on YouTube and barely anywhere else? Because nobody wants him. Because he's a raw pain in the ass. That's why.
What in the world did he go to kissing his behind at the end? To talk about a backhanded compliment. But, you know, Keith Olbermann is full of bile and vitriol. I don't understand where he gets that kind of talk. Anyway, look at this girl here. She doesn't have a hijab on. She doesn't have her hair covered up. And oh my goodness, now this is in Iran. What is she doing? She's smoking.
از اون ور
And she's giving the finger. Yeah, Jerry, she's pretty. I'll call that video clip Pretty in Persian. Pretty in Persian. That's what she is. And here's I didn't get the video, but the Iranian protesters burned Tehran's Al Rasul Mosque. There it is, going up in smoke. Oh, man. You know, that when you start seeing mosques get burned up, you know it's getting real. It's getting real. So anyway, here we have again. What's going on now? International news. What is this? It seems that the conflict regarding the detention of the Russian vessel Mariana by the Americans, which changed its flag and registration while at sea, is gradually being toned down. Donald Trump released 2 Russian citizens who were part of the ship's crew. Well, I'm sure they're going to get, what were you doing hanging out with 20 Ukrainians? But anyway, and Dmitry Medvedev publicly called the decision to change the ship's registration to Russian not a very adequate way of protection against Americans with predictable consequences, namely got your rear end boarded. Apparently, it has been realized that the U.S. bluff in this way did not work. What are they talking about? And the Russian Navy has few ways to provide real protection for tankers in the event of an active confrontation with the U.S. fleet. Moreover, the spirit of anchorage could be damaged, which is not beneficial for either the U.S. or Russia. That is an agreement concerning Alaska in the Bering Strait. The spirit of anchorage. So anyway, so it's being toned down. That's good. That's the first tanker, right? Oh, here it is. The use of the missiles, or Oreshnik, or they're spelling it now, Oreknik. So maybe that's the way they spell to pronounce Oreshnik. I don't know. Russia confirmed the use of Oreshnik against Ukraine. The Russian Defense Ministry stated that in response to the attack on Putin's residence, remember, stuff that happens just a week ago, there's so much going on. Remember, Putin said his house was attacked and that he was going to respond. It wasn't going to be pretty, is what he said. Well, here's the not pretty response. Kiev is totally without power. They're evacuating the damn city. And Ukraine denies it. Strikes were carried out, including with the use of the Oreknik complex. According to the Defense Ministry, drone production facilities which were used in the attack on the residents were hit. Remember, the guy was telling us that the Venezuelans were saying that we had some pretty serious drones, too. Who knows how far we come with that technology? Also, elements of the energy infrastructure ensuring the operation of the military-industrial complex were targeted in the strikes. The ministry stated that such actions by Kiev, and they talk about bombing the house, will not go unanswered in the future. So look for more if you want to try to put the bad finger on us. And here is this another tanker that got boarded. Not the Mariner. This is U.S. Navy is pursuing oil tankers in the blockade of Venezuela. As I wrote, this is not the end. The U.S. Navy is pursuing several oil tankers who were subject to sanctions and which left the Venezuelan waters in an attempt to circumvent the U.S. naval blockades. And I will tell you real quick, without having to look for the article, I'll just tell you off the top of my head. The rabbit Trump pulled out of his hat was he put up a truth post that said, with the agreement and assistance of Venezuelan interim authorities, we have seized this tanker. So in other words, he's telling Russia, China, or anybody else got a problem with it, we're working with Venezuela, okay? So what did we end up with? We got another video of Special Forces getting a training mission on how to board a tanker. Do I have it? Let me see if this is it. I'm not sure. If I come across it, I'll pop it up there. But we have another infrared video of special forces rappelling down on the tanker itself. But I got to get through some of these things. I make these copies, and what's this real quick? And I don't get to talk about it. Let's see. What? Oh, this is where they raised the flag. I showed you that video. Iranian protesters in Khorramabad, a western Iran, removed the Islamic Republic flag from the city center and placed the monarchist lion and sun flag over it. Well, look what Elon Musk put up. And Elon Musk enabled the internet because they closed the internet down. And Musk used Starlink to give the Iranians internet. Breaking: X has officially changed the Iranian flag emoji. It now shows Iran's historic lion and sun flag instead of the Islamic Republic flag, a symbol of the Iranian monarchy's strength and ancient heritage, used officially until the 1979 Islamic Revolution. So I'm sure it's not just Keir Starmer who's mad at Elon Musk. I'm sure the Ayatollah is very angry too. Oil is already being unloaded from the tanker Mariner, which was seized by American forces, Trump claims. He added that the decision to seize the tanker was not difficult for him. However, he refused to answer the question on whether he had contacted Putin after the seizure of the tanker. What kind of dumb question would the press ask that for? Of course, Trump. He's a diplomat. He's a deal maker. What do you think? He wants to go to war? Any way they can think of to stir up crap, they're going to stir it. What's this one? Here's a video. Let me see. What is this? Oh, the woman in the background, they had a moment of silence for her at a ball game. You want to see how it went?
Our thoughts are with our family and everyone affected, and our hearts are with our community as we hope for healing and unity during this challenging time. Please join us in our moment of silence.
Yeah, that was some moment of silence. A moment of silence for this thing right here on the screen. I wouldn't want to sit around and be quiet for that thing either, because let's play ball. Let's go. But anyway, so what do we have here? Trump again. Today, the United States of America. Oh, with the interim authorities of Venezuela, seized an oil tanker which departed Venezuela without our approval. This tanker is now on its way back to Venezuela, and the oil will be sold through the great new energy deal, which we have created for such sales. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Oh, that drives him nuts when he ends up like that. Oh, here he is giving a little interview right here with some dingbat on oh, this might have been, I had this the other day. Let me see, or yesterday. Let me see what's going on here.
In Portland, we got it down to almost no crime. Do you know that? But we pulled it out. We had a Supreme Court decision. We can go back. We're allowed to go back in. But we'll go back in when the crime starts. Look, the crime will soon start because they now know that we're out. And at the appropriate time, we'll go back in. And we may, if we're allowed to. Most powerful thing we haven't used, the Insurrection Act.
You're considering using the Insurrection Act?
I've always considered it, but we haven't needed it anywhere. 48% of the presidents of this country have used it. Bush used it, I think, 22 times or something. You know that, right? I mean, Bush the Elder.
Bush the Elder, yeah. Bush the Elder used the Insurrection Act 22 times. How many did you say? 48% of the have used it. So, yeah, he's putting out a pretty strong statement there. Let me see what's going on in the chats. I'm just looking through the chats. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. Ann's here. Nice to see you, Ann. All right. Thank you for coming aboard along with Tammy. She came in also. Oh, here's another goober. This guy got elected to council in some stupid liberal city. And you'll hear them talk about claimed he was living in a condemned building. I'll talk about that after this report. But he didn't get very far after he got elected. He was supposed to get sworn in and start serving as a councilman or something like that.
Former councilor was indicted, calling the situation a distraction for the city.
Congratulations. It's only been 3 days since Iman Osman was sworn in to represent Ward 5 in Lewiston, but that was brought to an abrupt halt after sending this resignation letter today to the council, saying he is stepping down, effective immediately.
I'm excited to put this behind us.
Osman says in his letter that during his time in public office, he has faced vicious personal attacks.
Were you aware of those attacks at all? Did he mention those to you?
I am aware of the personal attacks that he's received, and it's absolutely horrible.
Osman's resignation comes just a day after he pleaded not guilty to an indictment on gun charges.
The law did not prevent us from swearing him in. He was duly elected by Ward 5 residents.
There were also questions surrounding his legal address that trace back to a condemned building. Despite that, several people spoke in support of Osman after Tuesday night's swearing in.
So he's the person, we elected him to this seat because he knows exactly how to deal with what is going on in downtown Lewiston.
We reached out to Osman's attorney in hopes of speaking with the now former counselor. The attorney said his client did not want to speak to us today.
And Max has been following this for a while. You also learned the City Council holding a special meeting tonight at 6, likely to talk about what's next, likely a special election. But what about the seat that Osman vacated on the Lewiston School Committee when he was sworn in to the council?
Yeah, so the city charter required Osman to give up his school board seat when he was sworn into the city council. Now, the mayor needs to appoint someone to fill that open Ward 5 school committee seat. That appointment will have to be voted on by the city council, and an election is planned for the Ward 5 school committee seats in November. And as of right now, there's nothing preventing Osman from running again.
For the school committee seat?
Yes.
Lots of moving parts.
Appreciate your live update.
Well, he had a gun charge, and he also had some other charges concerning money. But let me ask you this. Would it surprise you if he used that address, of course, because it was an open seat that they could arrange for him to get the votes or what? You know, the crooked crap they pull. But it wouldn't surprise me if he had, I don't know, how many wives he got? His name Ibrahim? They can have up to 4 wives, right? Depending on your faith, so to speak. But how many times have I talked about people under HUD saying they're single mothers and there's no man in the house to help them, and they get almost all their rent for free. So he claims a condemned building. And I don't know if that's truth or not, but I've seen that scam run many times. Many times. Oh, okay. Chat away, Debbie. Chat away. Let me see. You all want to see some lunatics get slapped around? Here we go. Here's some ICE stuff. I'll save her as a background. Now look at this woman. This is what you call resisting with force. She's resisting with force. And you see a guy with a knit cap and a white patch in the front. he's going to get himself in trouble too. But you see, this is zero tolerance, okay? They're grabbing hold of these people and rattling their damn cages and locking them up. No more playing around.
Step back. She hit a vehicle. Stay back and
Cattle branding. I saw somebody put cattle branding. And here's a nice ICE guy saying, look, you want to make sure you stay out of trouble. He's just trying to be nice. Look at this professional Karen in here. A professional Karen, how she treats him. He's just trying to be nice.
If I continually see you following us, interfering with us, honking your horn, blocking our cars, you have a very high probability of making a really bad decision and being arrested today.
Why are you giving her a warning?
I'm giving her a warning to not interfere with what we're doing, to not make a bad decision today and ruin your life.
Whoa, bad
okay,
decisions.
thank
That's
you.
Funny coming from you.
Okay, alrighty. Thank you. Have a good day.
I hope you have a terrible day.
Okay, thank you. Hold on. Watch out, it's slippery.
Yeah, there's a lot of ice around here.
Just so you know, if we continue to have you follow us, okay, have fun. Don't make a bad decision today.
It's not illegal to follow you. What is illegal is stopping people unconstitutionally.
Don't interfere.
Those of you who've been with me for a long time, do you remember that time I had that talk about when cops used to have whistles? And that's where the term blowing the whistle on somebody comes from. Remember when I had that talk? And I was saying one of the safety pieces of safety equipment you had to have on a vessel was a whistle. If you're stranded out in the ocean, you could blow on that whistle. And how basic training, they just gotten away from that basic stuff. Remember me talking about that? Well, damn it, I wish they hadn't listened to my broadcast, because now they're using whistles. But anyway, I got some other videos I guess I can play tomorrow. I got a good one right here that you all will enjoy. Who's that Indinado Trumpo? But once again, I want to thank Mike and Bev for helping out with Buy Me a Coffee. And here towards what's the timestamp? What time I'm at? 1:47 mark. I put in a link for Buy Me a Coffee. If anybody wants to help the channel out, it's a totally viewer-supported channel. But I think you all will enjoy this video of Il Donado Trumpo. So what do I always say, folks? I say thank you for spending your precious time with me. Don't I always say that? And I hope you all have a great evening. Oh, and by the way, Scott Adams did have another broadcast today. You know, it was where he had many friends coming up and joining him on screen. And I could tell it lifted his spirits. And we always keep hope alive, right? And if you get a chance, you might want to slip by there and watch some of it. And hopefully he'll stabilize and rally a little bit. We shall see. But anyway, folks, I hope you all have a great evening. I'll be seeing you soon. This is Mountain Man, over and out.
Buenos nachos, amigos. Yo soy su presidente, el señor Donaldo J. Trumpo. I love El Mexico, but your cartel bandidos are mucho estúpido. ¿Comprende? They keep sending el cocaíno to los Estados Unidos y eso no bueno. Anyway, if they keep sending el cocaíno to El America, Señor Trumpo will land a mucho grande missile up their asso. ¿Comprende, amigos? Muchas gracias, muchachos, y que viva el México, cabrones.